In this video, I will be discussing the political landscape of Europe leading up to and during the Protestant Reformation. This will give you a better understanding of some of the events and why they happened during this period. We'll start with the easy ones. England. England at this time is a monarchy. It's run by a king, King Henry VIII. Down into France. France is also a monarchy, run by a king, Francis I. Down into Spain. Spain is also a monarchy, run by a queen. The king actually died. In Germany, we have a minor democratic system set up where their ruler is elected by 7 nobles or princes. So actually, 3 of them are bishops. The other 4 are secular nobles throughout the country. And their ruler will get the title of Holy Roman Emperor. But this title is extremely confusing because it has nothing to do with Rome or Italy at this point. It did, but not at this point in history. It's better to think of Germany being called the Holy Roman Empire of Germany. Now, going down into Italy, Italy is not unified whatsoever. It's run by independent city-states. Milan, Florence, Venice. Rome is run by the Pope and the small portion of papal states. And then Naples and Sicily are run by a different duke. And during the 1400s and 1500s, these city-states fought each other for power. That includes Milan tried to, and almost did, take Florence, but Venice stepped in. In the early 1500s, Venice tried to take some of Florence's and Milan's area, and the city-states teamed up against Venice. This includes Rome. So when we think about the Pope during this time, he is the head of the church, but he's also a ruler. He has to protect his land. In fact, the Pope, before Pope Leo X, which is the Pope during Martin Luther's Reformation, is Julius II. He's actually called the warrior Pope because he was out fighting the Venetians and the Turks for land. So remember that the German ruler is called the Holy Roman Emperor, but he has nothing to do with Italy or Rome. In fact, we can take it one step farther than that. In 1527, the Holy Roman Emperor invaded Italy and sacked Rome. But let's go back into Germany and talk a little bit about those 7 electors and who they typically elect. The very odd and unusual part about these elections is it can be anybody throughout Europe, and it typically was someone outside of Germany. So when I spoke to you about the King of England, he could be elected as the Holy Roman Emperor in Germany. The King of France, Francis I, he could be elected to the ruler of Germany. The Queen in Spain, well, they wouldn't have elect a woman. However, they would elect her son, and that's actually what happens when there is an election. They elect her son, Charles V. But in Italy, they could elect one of those independent state rulers. They could also elect the Pope. So it's any noble or monarch throughout Europe can get this title. And the one who does in the middle of the Reformation is an Austrian whose family is the monarchs in Spain. And again, that's Charles V. And why that's important is because if 1517 is the official start of the Protestant Reformation, that's when most historians give it the official start. That's when Martin Luther supposedly pins his 95 Thesis on the church door. That's October 31st, 1517. In 1519, the Emperor Maximilian dies, and there has to be an election in the summer of 1519, which causes a lot of commotion during this time. And another point I'll make about these elections is there is nothing democratic about them. They are fully bribes, and the winner goes to the person who puts up the most amount of money. And it's just widely understood. It's not even kept secret. It's just understood whoever has the most money and gives it to these 7 electors in bribes will win the crown. So in the summer of 1519, the election comes down between the King of France and a Habsburg, Charles V, whose family is rulers of Spain. And this election bankrupts the banks in the Netherlands, the banks in Germany, and the banks in Spain. Why is this important? Is because this is a huge factor in what happens to the economy in Germany. They've pumped so much money into this economy that inflation skyrockets. In addition to the money dump, there's a lot of money coming from the New World in Mexico. The mines and the Spanish gold are coming into the economy in Europe, which is also causing inflation to rise, and the value of it's not the dollar, but the value of money is plummeting. So the irony of the election of the summer of 1519 is, yes, the prominent Habsburg family won the crown, but the cost was the German economy, which goes into a tailspin. Goods and services increase in price, which also is felt by the nobles who have to increase taxes. Let me give you a couple of stories that come out of this election of the summer of 1519, just to give you an idea of the exorbitant amount of money that was spent on this election. So much that they had to raise an army to surround the city of Frankfurt for the election. Skirmishes broke out along the German and French border, trying to stop A, the gold, or B, the communications between France and the German electors. One of the electors, I believe it's the Archbishop of Mainz, changed his mind 6 times running up to the election because France kept upping the ante, as well as the Habsburgs kept upping the ante to this ungodly amount of money that was given to the electors. Well, when Charles takes over in 1519, everyone says he was broke. So that should give you an idea of the political landscape of Europe leading up to and during the Protestant Reformation. In the next video, I'm going to be going over printing and publishing. I think it's common knowledge that most people are aware that the printing press, invented in the 1450s by Gutenberg, had a tremendous impact on the Protestant Reformation, although there is a lot of aspects of printing that are never told. So I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it's interesting to you.